Hi YouTube, thanks for joining me. I'm Andy, I'm in West Wales, United Kingdom. This is my birth chart for the day, the astro weather, the state of the planets and the heavens as we go into Wednesday the 7th of February 2018. The moon is in Scorpio at this very moment. She is 53.8% full and she's on the wane, so she will be 50% moon square sun. That is the alignment that the charts are giving us right now, and that is the main astrological influence that is going on. However, the actual crucial critical time of it, 15:54 UTC in UK here, eastern side of the United States, that is 10:54 AM, Pacific 7:54 AM. Moon square the sun, we get some tensions, we get some imbalances. We also get a theme of intimacy versus detachment. Yeah, we all need to be on our own path, doing our own thing, pushing that forward somehow or another. And a lot of us like to be in a partnership. We're more comfortable in a relationship. But it needs to be a relationship that's with someone who is in tune with our ideals and our goals. And it is actually going somewhere that's in tune with our ideals and our goals. It's not a time for knee-jerk reactions. It might feel like one. But basically, keep your powder dry, hold your horses, just see the way it's going, and be willing to go with the flow. You couldn't really do a better thing than going with the flow. So let's have a look at the phases, because the moon changes all the time through the day. Now, I usually just give you it right as it is as I go live, but I think what I'm going to do, because people are watching this all around the world, and thank you for all those views and subscriptions. It's building up now nicely, helping me get the word out. Wonderful stuff. I wish I could do something about the light. If I go back, my face goes a weird colour, so I have to be kind of forward like that. Isn't that weird? It is day 22 of the moon cycle. In the Europa tradition, that is seen as inauspicious. That's kind of like nothing great is going to happen. But in the Vedic system of astrology, which relates to Hinduism basically, and very much the way the world is seen in Hindu countries of the world, it's actually regarded as quite a good day for journeys or transport. Interesting, because Mercury is conjunct the Sun, and Mercury, the messenger of the gods, very often plays into transport matters. But there we go, that's what it says. People born today, basically, have the potential to be good. No one is guaranteed to be good, are they? But let's just get rid of that whole original sin thing that the church teaches, because that's had it just as much as the television's had it. Keep it real, keep it YouTube, that's all I'm saying. Mars is going to sextile Pluto, that is 60 degrees to Pluto, 6:16 p.m. in UK time. That is actually, I think, oh no, I've got the American times wrong, so I'll just say 6:16 p.m. UTC. That is going to happen. Right, what am I looking at? I'm all over the place here. In the biodynamic cycle, it's a leaf day. Always revere the leaves of the tree that gives you shelter. That is the spiritual thing to be thinking on a biodynamic leaf day. But biodynamics, strictly speaking, are about farming, gardening, the relationship we have with nature, rebirth, growing things, that kind of thing. That's where it's really at, if I'm honest. But I always like to think about the spiritual side of these things as well, and I found it to be very true, actually. And when the moon brings us to this time of a leaf day in the biodynamic cycle, that is the time to think about, you know, what's giving you shelter? What is it that makes your life kind of really enjoyable? You know, you can have an existence, can't you, and just stand still all the time. Or you can really have a life and go for it and get involved in stuff and keep things moving. Okay, let's have a quick look at spaceweather.com. This is the laws of physics. This is really happening, but so are all the astrological alignments. They are really happening with the real planets all the time. It's based on astronomy. Astrology is simply what people have observed and written down over thousands. In fact, you know, really since before history. I don't think anybody knows how long this has gone on because, for example, you know, we've just had astrological imbolc on Saturday when the light starts coming back in. That is a really good time to start growing crops in reality, you know, and so people have observed that for thousands of years, and at some point the scientists have got in and said, oh, we don't like this airy-fairy stuff because, you know, we can't write books about it and pass exams and force everyone else to think the same thing. So that is pretty much out the window. But the science is real, the science is happening all the time. Solar wind speed today, 422 kilometers a second exactly. That is up a tiny bit on normal, but it's not really massive. I mean, 400 is normal, so that's not too bad at all. The density of the protons, 6.2 protons per cubic centimeter. I'm going to give out the X-ray solar flare details. I don't understand them. I don't know what they mean. but they're here on the page, and it's all something to do with the solar wind, so let's do it. These are both timed at midnight 38 UTC on February the 7th, 6-hour maximum, B7, 24-hour maximum, also B7. I'm going to find out what that means. Okay, that's going to be my task for today. Always have something to do during the day, you know, that raises your understanding a little bit. It doesn't have to be massive, not at all. I started writing down the astrology about 9 years ago, and then about 8 years ago I started writing it down on Facebook and finding out what other people thought, and I just kept on going with it. A tiny bit every day, and just this sort of 5-6 minutes that I do every morning on YouTube, that raises my understanding as well, and I really hope it's helping to raise your understanding too. Okay, there is only one sunspot on the face of the sun now, number 2699. It is actually alive and crackling with minor B and C class solar flares, but they're not giving any great warnings or anything. I'm just looking up and down here. All they're really saying is they're doing all-inclusive Northern Lights trips in Tromsø, Norway. So that sounds pretty much like an advert, doesn't it? There has been a solar radio burst intruding on an otherwise quiet solar minimum. There was some noise yesterday. Someone reported hearing a surge of static coming out of his shortwave radio telescope in New Mexico. And that was actually coming from this sunspot number 2699. The sounds are there. Check out spaceweather.com. It's really interesting. There's a recording of that sound there, and that is the actual physical proof that all these things are real and all these things are going on. There are two small coronal holes right at the top of the sun as we look at it from Earth. Not that we can see them without very special glasses, but someone's got a telescope that's sussed it all out. Solar wind is spilling down from that hole in the north of the sun, and it's brushing against Earth's magnetic field today. But they're not saying there's any geomagnetic storms. They're not saying anything like that. Okay, that is a quick snapshot of it. I will try and know more tomorrow. I will try and do more tomorrow. Just for today, though, I'm going to have a good day. I hope you do too. Thanks for looking. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I really appreciate all the people who've subscribed as well, by the way. That really does help me to get the word out. Come the 20th of February, YouTube are cracking down a bit. They won't stop me doing anything. You know, they won't stop anyone doing anything. The main thing, as far as I can see, is they're going to drive the quality up a bit, because basically you're not going to be able to make any money off YouTube unless people actually like what you're doing. So there'll be less of this kind of 5-minute video of like the cat or something, which I love to see those videos, you know, but there's so many people now putting stuff out that's got no real content. It's maybe just a copy of something someone else did. The way forward is to have good content. If I fall foul of YouTube, I don't really care, because someone will want it as long as the content is good. That's how our lives need to be. You know, we're forever being talked down to by the authorities and told we're not good enough. No, we are good enough. We've just got to keep going. We've got to keep moving. We've got to prove. Now, finally, I found that is a much better light there. Right, I'll have to work on that, move my cameras and things around. Waffling away now. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful and a superbly productive Wednesday, the 7th of February, my friends. Bye-bye.